What is going on, guys? Boy Gamers Goon. As you can see, same jersey as yesterday's video, and that's because, as I said, I'm recording this same day because we're talking about the NBA. Because tonight, I'm recording this on Monday, but tonight, the time you're watching this, Tuesday, is the beginning of the NBA season, and that means the power rankings need to come out prior to game number 1, and so that's why it's coming out this morning. At the 30th spot, the worst team in the NBA, we got the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets, obviously, they have a lot of pieces that they are lacking in order to be successful. Terry Rozier, he's an unproven starter in the league. He's been streaky at best. They lost Kemba and Jeremy Lamb. This basically should be a developmental year for Miles Bridges, Dwayne Bacon, P.J. Washington, and possibly Jalen McDaniels, providing he's going to be on the team. Then this team will have to rely on guys like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. They're going to have to rely on Nick Batum. They're going to have to rely on Malik Monk, which, if you guys ask me, it's really not the guys you want to look forward to if you want them to be a leader on your team. Malik Monk, maybe. But the team ain't going to be very successful if those guys are your leaders. I expect some inflated stats for both Monk and Bridges this year. They're going to be the scorers, if you ask me. I don't really expect much good play out of either. Miles Bridges, I think, will be a good player this year, but I don't think Malik Monk's going to be good. I think he might be a guy he'll make 10 shots a game, but that's because he'll shoot 25. I really feel like that because they really don't have much going on for him over in Charlotte. But I really can't see this team eclipsing 25 wins. It's just unrealistic. It's just unrealistic. Next, we got the Wizards at the 29th spot. This team really only has one solid player that is proven as a quality starter in the NBA, and that is Brad Beal, obviously. Isaiah Thomas hasn't even came close to what he was in Boston since he's left. Wall has no timetable, as I stated yesterday. They do have a few solid young pieces, however. They have Thomas Bryant, who I believe could be a very good player this year. They drafted Rui Hachimura and Admiral Schofield, which neither are really the kind to carry the load this year. I expect Beal to be dealt out by the break. Definitely don't see him staying on this team. Best case scenario for them is if Brad Beal stays there, he's an MVP caliber type of guy, putting up 27 a night in, night out, and he's able to make all these guys around him look like quality role players. I don't see much for this team. I think the playoffs are a very unrealistic goal for the Wizards. Next, we got, at 28, we got the Grizzlies. Much like the Wizards, they don't have much going for them. The Grizzlies are a team that has a chance to break out this year. Just like the Wizards, they have a chance with Brad Beal. But that's completely contingent on how their young players develop and realize their potential. They have a lot of young guys, such as Grayson Allen's on the roster, Dylan Brooks, Josh Jackson, who was unproven in Phoenix. We got Ja Morant, Brandon Clark. We got Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ivan Rabb. So a lot of youth there. Their veterans really don't get me very excited outside of Iguodala. They have Jonas Valanciunas. They got Miles Plumlee, Solomon Hill, who has a very big contract for how good he is. And they got Jay Crowder. Nothing to brag about, really. I think if you rely on your youth too much, it's not going to turn out very well for you, especially this year. I don't think the Grizzlies are going to even be close to a playoff team. Next, we got a little low ball of an offer here at 27, the Timberwolves. Now, this is really odd for what I'm about to say. The T-Wolves will be very one-dimensional this year unless Wiggins plays at the level everybody thought he could be entering the league. This team will go as far as their superstar, Karl Anthony Towns, can take them. I wouldn't be very excited about Jeff Teague or Josh Okogie offensively this season. Robert Covington might provide some good 3-and-D type stuff. And Jarrett Culver and Naz Reid could be vital pieces in maybe that rebuild effort for the future. But nothing really this year outside of maybe Wiggins being a good player and obviously Cat being himself. There's not really much to be excited about in the Timberwolves basketball program. There's really not. Next, we got number 26, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers, this is not a bad team. 26 might be a little low for them, actually. This team could very easily be a dark horse team for the playoffs this year. Say Colin Sexton was to average 17 points a game for the second year in a row. Then obviously you got guys like Garland who can be a scorer. You got Kevin Porter off the bench who could be a scorer. You got Cedi Osman who had a very good year last year coming off 13 points a game. Then you got Kevin Love. You got Larry Nance. You got Tristan Thompson who I think could be a trade piece. But they're gonna need their bigs to play some good ball. I think Garland and I think if you have Colin in there, they could play some good ball. Then you got Jordan Clarkson. I think Kevin Love and Larry Nance are going to need to have a good year for this team to be good, but I don't think it's that far-fetched to say that they might be an 8th seed in the East. Next, we got 25th, and this is, if you're a Suns fan now, you got to thank me, man. The Suns. The Suns, they have jumped up a lot since last year. This is not a team that really had a off-season look at. Oh, my God. I can't believe they just did that. They got Ricky Rubio. They went out and they got themselves Cam Johnson. And they got guys like Jalen LeCue and Ty Jerome who are just going to be quality backups right now. But their team's not bad. They got D-Book. They got DeAndre Ayton. They got Mikal Bridges, as I said yesterday, is a most improved candidate this year. And they got Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre. So, not bad. However, the depth might be a little bad because Cam Johnson, he's coming in his first year. You can't expect too much out of Cam Johnson. He wasn't really hyped up. He was the 11th pick, but I don't know how much he'll live up to that. You got Cheick Diallo, who really isn't that proven. Elliot Kobo, who could be sporadic at times. And you got Ty Jerome and Jalen LeCue, as I said, but not much else. So, they all have some questions behind them, but I think this team could be a better team than what they were last year. Ricky Rubio might be the glue. Next, 24, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder. This team is a bad team. Don't let the 24th fool you. They will win games simply because they have guys like Steven Adams. They have the veterans. They got the CP3s. But I don't imagine Steven Adams and or CP3 to be there at the end of the year. I think by the deadline, they'll both be dealt. Shea is going to be running point guard for OKC for the year. Gallinari probably will be there still. And if I'm an OKC fan, those are the two I want to see. I want to see them stay put. You're not going to be you're not going to be one of those teams that I put a lot of faith in. Oh, you're going to have a good chance this year. You're just not. You're just not those guys. Just trade away Adams. Trade away CP3 to contenders. Get some young pieces. Get some draft picks. And build your team around Shea and Gallinari. Because that is where I see this team heading. If Steven Adams is your best player along with CP3, who's already old, I wouldn't have a lot of hope for you. Just start the rebuild early. Go into it. I don't think that this team will be very good. I just think we'll have a lot of veteran leadership and could be a decent team for a while until the pieces are moved. Next, we got the New York Knicks. This is a lot better than where they were last year. They're one of the teams in the conversation for the 7th and 8th seed in the East, but I don't believe they are better than some of their counterparts in the race, which are Chicago and Atlanta for the 8th spot. But I think that they will definitely be a contender for that 8th seed because they might not be as good, but I think they could be one of those guys that, well, they were 2 games out. They had a very good year. They brought in some guys like Reggie Bullock, Wayne Ellington, Marcus Morris, Bobby Portis, and Julius Randle this offseason, which I think are pretty good players to build around. Then you got R.J. Barrett obviously being drafted there. Then you still got guys like Damian Dotson, DSJ, Kevin Knox, Alonzo Trier. Should be some fun basketball over there in New York. And I expect this team to be pretty solid this year, but not solid enough to get them to the playoffs. Next, we got the Orlando Magic at 22. This I'm going to keep it short and concise with you. This team has 2 players, really. I think that could be all-star candidates, actually. They have Aaron Gordon, Nick Vucevic. And outside of those pieces, there's not much to be excited about. Markelle Fultz might break out. Yeah, it might get a Obama breakout. But outside of people reaching their full potential, you're going to rely on 2 all-stars. I'm not... If you're relying on 2 all-stars, I think you could be a competitive team. If you got 2 all-stars, I think you're competitive. Next, we got the Atlanta Hawks. Like I said, they are in that contention for those spots in the East, the last spots over in the East. Trae Young is set for his sophomore season after having an arguably Rookie of the Year season. Like I said yesterday, he was close, but not close enough. And then you got John Collins coming into a year where he's going to need to see a dramatic improvement in order to make this team into something special. Obviously, Kevin Huerter is going to be in his sophomore season. He could be very good this year as the third option. And the youth of this team projects to be pretty good with DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish, who both could be valuable assets off the bench for the start. The team, however, does lack a starting big because right now they got Damian Jones and Bruno Fernando on the roster. Bruno's not bad, but I don't think he's good enough to be an NBA starter. I've seen what he could do at Maryland firsthand. He's played at the State Farm Center multiple times, but I don't think he's ready yet. With their lack of a big presence and the defensive pairing of Collins and Young, because obviously Trae Young is the best defender, same thing with John Collins. I think that could cause them not to make the playoffs, and that's why I have them beneath the team I got next, my Chicago Bulls. Zach LaVine wants to be an all-star this year. He will be. He will 100% be an all-star this year. It's in Chicago. He's going to be an all-star. The offense, however, should see a dramatic improvement from last year. We should be an up-tempo team with Kobe White likely coming off the bench. He will be that spark plug for us. Satoransky, he should provide as a quality playmaker for us. He can hit that 3. Otto Porter, obviously. He's getting paid $27 million. I expect that boy to live up to every single penny. I want him to be the best 3-and-D player in the league. We got Lauri Markkanen, stretch big. Man's going to be great this year. He's going to play a full year. Wendell, he's going to be our best defender this year on the big side of things, because Lauri's not the best defender. So, Wendell, you're going to need to be healthy, and Wendell will be healthy, and he'll get us a bunch of blocks. Next, we got Hutchinson still on the team. We got Daniel Gafford, who looked great in the preseason and in Summer League. We got the vet, Thad Young, coming over, and obviously we got guys like Ryan Arcidiacono still on the roster. And obviously, the Chicago legend himself, Cristiano Felicio. Yeah, he's still on the roster. I can't believe it. He has a job, and I don't. I know. Next, we got the Sacramento Kings. And shout out to Buddy Hield, man. This morning, Buddy Hield got paid his bag, man. He got his bag. 4 years, 86, or actually, was it 84? 86 mil. He will be getting paid around 21, 22 mil a year. Very good for Buddy Hield. Glad to see he got his bag. This team isn't a bad team. They are coming off a great year where Fox and Hield kind of stirred the pot a little and made people think they might have a chance at the playoffs, that they fell off towards the end. But Bog should be a good player for him this year, Bogdanovich. They brought in Dwayne Dedman, who I think would be very underrated as a signee. He should be able to play that big spot very well for them. Obviously, they got Rashawn Holmes on the roster now. I think he could be good. They added Ariza. He'll be good for defense. And they got Barnes and they got Bagley still there. So they shouldn't be bad. I think this will be a fun team at least. But the star power on this team does not rank up ahead to the other teams on the west side of things. I feel so bad for the Kings, man. They're such a good organization. They're just in the west. Put them in the east, they're a playoff team. Next, we are finally in to the playoff teams. At least for the East, we got the Detroit Pistons. The 8th-seeded Detroit Pistons. This team will be a team that a lot of people are going to like to watch this year. They're going to have Drummond, who will get you 10-plus boards a game. They'll get Blake, who will be in the 20s for scoring. And this is the reason why it's going to be a lot of people liking him. The beloved Derrick Rose is on this team. And this is the best team he's had since Chicago. Since he was in Chicago in 2011. It really is. Obviously, Rose carried that team, but Rose hasn't been on a team that's been in contention, really. Outside of maybe the Cavs with LeBron for a little bit. But this is the best team he's been on. By far. By far the best team he's going to be on. They should be able to go pretty far for the vet leadership. I think it will take them into the playoffs. I think Derrick Rose and company are going to upset the number one. No, I don't. But my boy Derrick Rose is going to be in the playoffs. I can't wait. They're, like I said, 8th seed in the East. Not something to brag about, because next I got the Pelicans. And like I said, they're in the West. I feel bad for them. This team is going to be one where everybody will be watching this year very closely. The youth and the excitement around this roster is going to be great. You got Holiday. He's going to be able to showcase his skills, like I said in the last video with the Defensive Player of the Year. You're going to obviously see what Holiday can do. Zion's going to be a mainstream focus. You got B.I., who could be a very big scorer for them. You got Lonzo, who should be pretty good. You guys got Josh Hart off the bench. You got all these kind of guys. And it should be fun, man. It should be fun for New Orleans. You're going to have good basketball over in New Orleans. You're going to be the 17th team in the league, in my opinion. But, like I said, you're in the West. And you don't want to be in the West. Because although you're the 17th best team in the league, and the 18th best team made it, you're in the West, meaning there's some teams in front of you that are better and that will make the playoffs over you. Good year, though. Good year. Next, we have the 16th seed. Well, the 16th spot in this. And it is a 7th seeded East team. It's going to be the Toronto Raptors. I think they have enough to get it done and get to the playoffs again. I think Pascal, Freddie VanVleet, and Kyle Lowry is enough to get them to this spot. Obviously, they still got guys like Mark Gasol, blanking there. But I think Siakam is going to become an all-star this year. I think it's very likely that he becomes an all-star because he's going to be... A lot of people are going to still think of the Raptors because obviously they're the defending champs. They don't have a Kawhi now, but there's still going to be some eyes over on the Raptors. I think Pascal's going to get his love, and I think he's going to be able to get into the All-Star game. He just secured the bag just like Buddy. I don't remember how much he was, but I believe he was a 4-year deal too. Next, I'm sorry, Pop. I really am sorry, Pop. Greg Popovich ain't going to make it to the playoffs. They're in the West. Sorry, Spurs. You're just a couple spots out from being in that spot. LMA and DeRozan are good with that mid-range. They're going to be able to drive. They're going to be nice. They have the playmaker and DeJounte Murray back, like I talked about yesterday, and the most improved player. They got Lonnie Walker. I'm not saying that this team is the best based on talent, because I think the Pelicans' talent's better. But you can bet your money that Pop is going to find a way to make this team pretty relevant. Unfortunately for him, I just don't see them outdoing the other teams. I can see them outdoing the Pels. I just can't outsee them doing the other teams out in the West. I really can't. I'm sorry, Pop. You're going to miss the playoffs. Next, we got the 14th team in the power rankings. The 6th seed in the East. I talked about him yesterday when I talked about Tyler Hero. Jimmy Butler, Goran Dragic, Bam Adebayo. Watch out. This team's going to be good. This team has some pieces like I just mentioned. They have Justice Winslow, PG Justice, out there. He'll be good this year. And the best thing about Justice is he's going to prove last year was not a joke. It wasn't a fluke. Justice Winslow's a playmaker out here now. I like Justice Winslow, man. This team should be very good. They got some good two-way guards in Butler, obviously. But I do think this team will be fun. They got Tyler Hero coming off the bench. I keep calling him Hero because sometimes they call him Hero. I'm just going to call him Hero. But I think he could be very good for the Heat. I think he will be very good for the Heat. I think the Heat will be contenders. I think they will get the 6th seed in the East. Next, we finally get to hear of who the 8th seed is in the West. And you might be looking at me and be asking some questions. Who do you think? Is it the Jazz? Is it the Warriors? Is it the Lakers? Is it the Clippers? No. It is the Dallas Mavericks. Now, the Mavericks are going to be in contention this year. They will be. I am going to stick to my guns about it. They will be in contention. They got Doncic, who had a good year last year. Rookie of the year in Doncic. They got guys like Jalen Brunson, who I think is very good. They got guys like J.J. Barea, who I think is very good. They got DeLon Wright, who I think is very good. Hardaway can score off the bench. They got guys. And they got the Porzingis god himself. Kristaps Porzingis is on that roster. He's going to be good for him. I think it's going to be enough. I think it will be enough to get them over the hump and get them into the playoffs at the 8th seed. I think by the end of the year, we're going to be talking about Doncic and Porzingis as one of the elite duos in the NBA. I think they'll get it done. I think they will. Next, we got the Boston Celtics, the 5th seed in the East, at the 12th spot in the power rankings. This team has the talent to go far, has the talent to be a top seed, has all of it. They got Jason Tatum, they got Jaylen Brown, they got Enes Kanter, they got Marcus Smart, they got Kemba Walker. But they always fail to deliver for some reason. They always fail to live up to all that hype. And I think this year they'll be a 5th seed. They'll be decent. And talent alone is going to carry this team. I think by the end of the year, you're going to be looking at Brad Stevens. And you're going to be questioning whether or not he should remain as the coach for the team. Because he's been given the talent. But they haven't done anything with it. And you want to know somebody else I'd watch out for this year on this team? Taco Fall. And Carson Edwards. I like him. But Taco Fall, he's on this roster. I don't think he'll get much playing time, but that man, he's big. He's very big. But I really want to see Taco Fall be something special for him. Next, we got the Brooklyn Nets at the 11th spot in the power rankings and the 4th spot in the East. Like I said, teams want to be in that East. They want to be in that East because everybody wants to go out West for some reason. This team has a lot of the same pieces as last year's playoff run, obviously, with guys like Karis LeVert. You got Jared Allen. You got, what's his name? Joe Harris. You got Ron Karooks. You're not bad. You're not bad. The only guy you really don't got back is D'Lo. But, yeah, I do got Kyrie, which I think it will be a upgrade. You got Dinwiddie still. This team's not going to suffer anything. KD will not be there. And if KD is there, I think we're talking about this team possibly being not possible. They would be the 1 seed in the East. Obviously, the only competition in the East would be the Bucks for that 1 seed. But I think the Nets are a very good team. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be the 4th seed in the East. Obviously, if they have KD, it's a different story. They're higher up in the power rankings. They're high up in the East, but they don't have KD this year. And I'm going to think Kyrie is going to be able to lead them to the 4th seed in the East. Next, we got the Utah Jazz as the 7th seed at the West at the 10th spot in the power rankings. The 10th spot at the power rankings has a 7th seeded Jazz. This team will have a good year. It's 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, like I talked about yesterday, Rudy Gobert, who I think will 3-peat. Obviously, he should have a good year. You got Joe Ingles, who I think will have a good year. Donovan Mitchell, he'll project to be a good player this year. You got Bogdanovich, I think he'll be good this year. You got Mike Conley, who should be another piece to add offensively to be good this year. I think by the end of the year, you're looking at Mitchell and Gobert you're looking at them as a pretty good duo so far, but I think they're obviously coming to the elite terms by the end of the year. I think they could be something special. That's why I have them at the 10th spot. Next, we got the 6th seed in the West, the Golden State Warriors. Now I know people are going to get on me. Why are they so low? This team lost a couple pieces. There's 3 or 4. They should at least be the 3rd seed. No. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. This team's going to be good just because Curry's good. They're going to be good just because Draymond's good. They're going to be good because Curry's a good coach. They're missing a lot. They're missing a lot. This team is going to... A 5th or a 6th seed... Where did I put... Yeah, the 6th seed in the West. Not bad. It's not bad. You got a lot of good teams in the West. It's not something to be upset about. As I'm recording this, $77 million, 4 years for Domantas Sabonis. So we'll talk about that actually in a little bit. But the 6th seed in the West is not something to be upset about, Warriors fans. This isn't a shot at you. It's not a shot at anybody. This team is not as good as they once were. The ninth in the power rankings is not a bad spot. They'll be a good team. They'll make the playoffs. I think they could still win the playoffs. I think they really can. But the regular season? No. No. The regular season where it comes into play for the seeding. Next, I just talked about him 3 seconds ago when I said Domantas Sabonis. The 8th team in the power rankings, the Indiana Pacers. They are going to be the 3rd seed in the East. Very easy East. They won't be they'll be without Oladipo for about half the season before the break. But obviously you got Malcolm Brogdon on the roster now, who I think should be very good. With the absence of Oladipo, and they have a lot of the same players last year. So they got the Sabonises, they got the Miles Turners. They should be very good. I think they have Wesley Matthews too, so he should be very good off the bench for them. I think they'll have a decent year. They're definitely going to be one of the higher ranked teams in the East. Next, we got the 7th in the power rankings. It's going to be the Denver Nuggets. I have them 5th in the West. Obviously, when you have guys like Jokic, you got Murray, you got Harris, you got Barton, you got all those guys, you're going to be a good team. Plus, they have a pretty high ceiling in Bol, and probably the guy that a lot of people are going to forget about when doing their power rankings, Michael Porter Jr. is on the roster, and he should be good to go. Michael Porter Jr. should be good to go. He will be playing for the first time in his NBA career, and first time since the tournament with Missouri. So I look forward to seeing that for Denver, and I think they should be a very good team this year. If you got a guy like Bol coming off your bench, and you have the starters of Nikola Jokic, you got obviously Jamal Murray, you got maybe Gary Harris or Will Barton, throw each one in there, whatever you might please. You got Bol coming off the bench, and you got Michael Porter Jr. maybe starting at power forward. That's a nice roster. But that's very good for them. At the 6th seed in the entire power rankings, we got none other than the Philadelphia 76ers. The 2nd seed in the East is at the 6th spot. Philly is going to be a good team. Obviously, they got Tobias, they got Embiid, they got Ben, which Ben can hit threes now, so they'll be good. Obviously, they picked up a guy like Josh Richardson. Zaire Smith should be good for them defensively. They have Al Horford now. He should be quality for them. They got Kylo Quinn, Mike Scott on their bench. They got Matisse Thybulle on their bench. It should be a very, very fun team out in Philadelphia. Sorry, my voice is starting to wear down, actually. I'll be right back with my water. For the 5th team in the power rankings, we got the Portland Trailblazers. Now, this means they will be the 4th seed in the West. I think this is a very good team. This backcourt is one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league, with both Damian Lillard, and CJ McCollum, 3-column. They should be good. And Fernie Simons has looked good. He should be pretty good coming off the bench. Rodney Hood has value as a wing. They obviously have Bazemore, who can be a spark plug at any given moment. Zach Collins is a good big. Pau Gasol is going to be there. They got guys that are good on defense. They got Nasir Little, who should be good. Yusuf Nurkic should be coming back in the second half of the year. And with that being said, meanwhile, they will have Hassan Whiteside, who I think will be dealt near the trade block. But that's pretty good. I mean, even if they keep Whiteside, you put Nurkic and Whiteside, then you got CJ, Dame, and then you get maybe put Rodney Hood in there. Pretty nice roster. Next, the 4th team in the power rankings. Now we're getting to the good and nitty-gritty. We got the Houston Rockets. Obviously, this team is going to be in a lot of talks as being one of the best teams in the league, as they got Capella, they got Gordon, they got Harden, they got the new and shiny Russell Westbrook. So this team shall be fun. I don't think that this team is going to be the best in the West. I don't. They have the talent to do it. They sure can. But I don't think they can. I don't think they will. Simply because of the teams out in LA. But this should be a very fun team to watch. This should be a 50-plus team when it comes to wins. This should be a very good team. 3rd seed in the West. Not anything to be sad about. That means you'll be playing the Warriors. The 3rd team in my power rankings is the Lakers. A lot of people are going to be mad about that. Let me explain myself. LeBron and AD will put on a show for the LA crowd. I do not doubt it whatsoever. However, they don't have much else outside of depth, outside of Kyle Kuzma. They got Boogie Cousins, and they got JaVale. They don't really have much underneath that outside of maybe Quinn Cook and Rondo. There's not enough depth in order to be the top team out in the West. I'm sorry. I don't think you're going to win the title either because you don't got enough depth. But a team that does have depth, the LA Clippers, my 1st seed in the West, number 2 in the power rankings. The roster the Clippers have put together is one of the nastiest we've seen since maybe that Warriors team. They have PG-13, they got Kawhi, they got Lou Will, they got Pat Patterson, I think would be good. They got Ivica Zubac, they got Montrezl Harrell, they got Landry Shamet, they got Pat Bev, they got Jerome Robinson, they got Rodney McGruger. I think they could be very deep. I think they could be very good. I think they will be very good. That roster's looking nice. If you have Lou Will and Pat Bev coming off your bench, because you get the points out of Lou Will, then you got Pat Bev's D. And then you get maybe Ivica Zubac coming off the bench behind Montrez. You got Rondo possibly being, or no, what am I saying? You got Jerome Robinson coming in there maybe. And then you got Rodney McGruger in the defense. That could be a nice little roster you got yourself. And the last, well actually first, and certainly the best as of right now, we got the squad of the Milwaukee Bucks. And I will tell you why they are here. This team, like I said, they got some decent parts. They got Giannis, they got Middleton, they got the Lopez bros. They got Bledsoe. They got some of those guys, but Giannis is the most unguardable player in the league. There's nobody you're going to put on Giannis outside of maybe Joel Embiid that could stop Giannis. I'm sorry. Maybe Zion can. But Giannis is unstoppable. I can't see a scenario where they don't win 60-plus games. Unless Giannis gets hurt, they're going to be at the top of the league yet again. Anyways, thank you guys for watching my video this morning. Seeing what teams I predict to be the best, the worst, the in-between, the playoff teams, the non-playoff teams, the lotto teams. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys with the remainder of the NBA season later this year. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you do like, subscribe, and turn on that like button. And make sure you click post notifications. If you want to go follow me on Twitter, it is GamersGoonYT. For all my videos, it will be posted up there. We will have the NFL videos. We still have the NBA videos like I am doing now. We will have obviously the WWE videos and the AEW videos over there. So make sure you guys do go over there and tune in and watch. If you guys are interested, make sure you do click that like, sub, and make sure you guys share this if it's something you guys like. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.